What is going on, everyone? Brad here from MTG Jankster, coming at you with yet another Magic the Gathering deck tech. Today we go back to Commander and look at a deck I recently made and I still are working on and has me really excited about Magic. Today we are going to be looking at a rather janky deck, a deck that you're probably not going to see very often around the Commander table, and that deck is Cromat 5-color 1-drops. The name of the deck pretty much says it all. We are going to be playing only cards with converted mana cost of 1. Now this isn't the most competitive deck out there, or is it the most functioning one, but it sure is a fun deck to bring to the Commander table, and is one that players aren't always going to see coming. So the first part of the deck we're going to talk about today is the removal aspect of the deck. Finding removal at 1 CMC isn't the most ideal situation, but it is possible. Starting out with Tragic Slip, we can give a creature -1/-1 until end of turn, or -13/-13 if a creature died this turn. It's a solid card that helps out with any single target removal, and most often takes out the biggest threat at the table. Then we have Swords to Plowshares, which is honestly one of the best removal cards in the format. For 1 mana we can exile a creature, but it does have the downside of our opponents gaining life equal to their power. Much like Path to Exile, we are almost always willing to pay the downside of it because it removes a high level threat, and Path is honestly a card that will be in the future upgrades for the deck. Next up we are playing both Shock and Lightning Bolt, each of which can either do direct damage to our opponents or deal damage to creatures. And rounding out the removal are going to be cards that take care of artifacts and enchantments, but with some sort of restriction. Nature's Claim and Fragmentize can both hit these two types of targets. Nature's Claim will have the downside of our opponents gaining 4 life, and Fragmentize can only hit cards with converted mana cost 4 or less. And finally we have Shattering Spree, which for as long as we have the red 4, can hit a bunch of artifacts on the field at one time. Next up we are going to delve into some of my favorite creatures in the deck, starting out with my personal favorite 1-drop that has ever been printed, that being Cromat Courier. For 1 mana of any color, we get a 1/1 with haste that when it attacks, we exile the top card of our library face down. Then, for 1 red mana and sacrificing it, we can discard our hand and put all the exiled cards into our hand. With playing all 1-drops, we are going to empty out our hand pretty fast, and Cromat Courier is a creature that helps us draw cards and refill our hand. Then we have Scoop Mob that lets us put 4 +1/+1 counters on him at the beginning of our upkeep if we control 5 or more lands. This will happen every upkeep, and as long as he's on the battlefield, he will become one of our biggest creatures. Next we have Mother of Runes, a classic 1-drop that gives a creature we control protection from any color. We are going to need her late game when it comes to our higher level threats later on, and Mom lets us keep our best creatures. Then we are playing Ovaya Pashiri, Sage Lifecrafter, because she can either make us a 1/1 creature or a creature that has power and toughness equal to the number of creatures we control at the time. Next we are playing Legion Loyalist, a 1/1 with haste and battalion that says whenever he attacks with at least 2 other creatures, all creatures we control gain first strike and trample until end of turn and can't be blocked by creature tokens. Loyalist is one of the best 1-drops ever made, and with creatures like Scoop Mob that get bigger over time but don't have trample themselves, have a higher chance of getting through for damage when they attack. Then we are playing Delver of Secrets, a 1/1 that lets us look at the top card of our library and we can reveal that card. If it was an instant or sorcery, we can flip Delver of Secrets into Instinctile Aberration, a 3/2 with flying. Rounding out the deck are some creatures that are really going to help us end the game, starting with Dragon Master Outcast, a 1/1 that lets us create a 5/5 dragon at the beginning of our upkeep if we control 6 or more lands. Then we have some level up creatures to dump our mana into, such as Skywatcher Adept and Caravan Escort. At max level, these become a 4/2 with flying and a 5/5 with first strike respectively. Then we have Warden of the First Tree, pretty much a level up creature that can only keep getting bigger. If he becomes a spirit, he will have trample, lifelink, and we can activate its last ability to put 5 +1/+1 counters on Warden of the First Tree. And that's all I have for you guys today for Cromat 1-drops. It really is a fun deck that you can really make your own of, a deck that isn't going to be super competitive, but one you'll really enjoy playing. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more Magic the Gathering related videos. My name is Brad from MTG Jankster, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.